today's episode of the Balancing Hormones Naturally podcast, where we offer actions and steps you can take today to start supporting and balancing your hormones. This is your podcast host, Leah Brueggemann. I am honored and excited to be your guide on your way to better understanding your hormone health and how it affects your everyday life. Hey ladies, I am so excited to be back, bringing you another episode of Balancing Hormones Naturally. And I just want to say that I'm ready to move to a warmer area. It is so cold. So I live in like the northern Kentucky, Ohio area, and it's so cold, you guys. It's okay, probably not as cold as Texas was. No, it was really cold, except for we are more used to it. I'm originally from Michigan, so every time I tell people that it's cold, they're like, oh, you're from Michigan, you should never be cold. You guys, I just need to keep moving down south. It's so cold. I'm ready for spring, ready for the summer vibes. I don't know about you, but I am. Today, we are talking all about postpartum nutrition. So you have either already listened to Ellie talk about postpartum support outside of nutrition, or you're going to. I'm not sure which order these episodes are releasing, but I do have a doula coming on to chat with you about postpartum support. But I want to talk about the postpartum nutrition because I remember right after I had Landon, and I was worried about my milk supply, and I was not sleeping. He was a horrible sleeper, even for a baby. When people say I sleep like a baby, yeah, I don't know why people say that, because my baby did not sleep great. I would not want to sleep like my baby. He was up all the time, and he only wanted to sleep when you held him. And I know, don't give me any like sleep parenting hacks. I don't need any sleep parenting hacks. He sleeps so much better now. Anyways, where I was going with this was the fact that I felt like I didn't even know what to eat. I was holding Landon and I only had one hand, and the only thing that I felt like I could eat was bagels and cream cheese. And because I didn't need any like support to like cook it or do anything, I could hold Landon and stick it in a toaster and then just eat it. But that's not great for my blood sugar, and it's also not great for healing. But I wasn't as prepped as I would like to be in my third trimester preparing for this. And so going forward for future babies, that is something that I will definitely change, especially as I learned so much more about the postpartum period and what you can do to help support that and all of that. So I want to share that with you. I want to share what you can do nutritionally. Now, this is not your postpartum, like, this is exactly what you need to do. Otherwise, you're not doing it right. That's not what this is about. This is literally just about crowd out versus like cut out. So instead of being like, oh, I'm only going to eat these foods because these are the best postpartum, just try and get in as many of them as you can. But then remember to give yourself grace, to slow down. And remember that you literally just pushed a baby out of your body. Or if you had a C-section, had the baby cut out of your body. Either way, it's a traumatic event. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful event when you see that little baby, and it's just amazing. But let's also be real about the trauma on your body. Oh my goodness. Okay, so different side topic. I'm going to leave that for the doula. Anyways, so pregnancy depletes about 10% or more of your minerals. Crazy, right? So I love doing getting your sea salt in. So I did this all through pregnancy. Get good quality Celtic sea salt. Throw out that Himalayan stuff and get some good quality sea salt, higher mineral content. And then as well, dates are really, really good, getting in a wide variety of food. But something that I recently discovered and I really, really love is cell salts. And turns out my mom knew about these for years and years and years, and she never told me about them. And I'm like, what were we doing? Living under a rock, Mom? I would have loved to have known about cell salts. Um, but cell salts will actually help your body replenish its minerals. By helping your body naturally balance itself out. So you can I'll link some below, but postpartum, I just use all 12 of them for a little bit. And you can take them, I think it's 4 tablets, 3 times a day, 15 minutes away from food. And it helps your body absorb its minerals better and just naturally balance itself out. And there's a different protocol that you do when you're pregnant with cell salts, but this is what I would do postpartum. Really, really love that it's easy to do and simple. It's a little tablet that you put under your tongue. So definitely do that because your minerals are going to be depleted. But let's talk about foods that you can do. So I love following the Ayurvedic. I'm always going to say that wrong. Ayurvedic practices when it comes to postpartum. So your digestion is slower postpartum. Um, you are pumping out a lot of milk, literally. You are tired, you know? You were carrying this baby for so long and you gave birth to it, and it literally like left that space in your body. And so, um, that's where even doing like a belly wrap could be really, really helpful. Um, but things that I love, okay, this has nothing to do with food, but a sesame oil like body rub. So even like doing it on your feet or on your belly is just amazing for help bringing your body into balance and helping all those organs go back to where they're supposed to. This is an Ayurvedic practice, so um, they specifically recommend sesame oil, which is why I would use that one. Okay, and then onto foods. So you want to stick with warm foods, foods that are easy to digest, foods that ignite your digestive fires. So that's soft foods, that's soupy foods, and what they call oily or good fats. Okay. So things that fit into that category, actually ghee or grass-fed butter is incredible for this. So, so, so good. I'm just craving sweet potatoes with a little bit of cinnamon and Kerrygold butter now, you guys. Are you with me? Like, is that not one of the best foods ever? Okay, moving on. But that would be an amazing option. Amazing, amazing option. Have some protein with that. You're good to go. Um, so nuts and seeds are also going to be really good. Fruits are going to be good as well. And then raw milk. Raw milk is actually very supportive of bringing in your milk supply. So obviously your milk supply will naturally come, but if that's something you're worried about or you want to support it, raw milk is really, really helpful. And I specifically prefer raw A2 protein milk, so it's the less not yeah, easier to digest protein. And it comes from Jersey cows. It also comes from sheep and goats. I was trying to think of the other one. Sheep and goats. But if you have access to that, you guys, that would be a good, as long as you don't have a sensitivity to dairy. So, like, it doesn't cause bloating for you. So, you really want to stay away from any foods that cause gas or bloating that's going to disrupt the calm, the peace, everything going back to the place that it should be. That could be beans for you. It could be cauliflower. Yeah, it could be milk if you're sensitive to it. Okay. So, if I'm saying foods and you're like, oh, I'm sensitive to that cause issues for me, then don't eat it. Use your common sense here. Okay. Some other things that I love, golden milk. Okay. So, turmeric. Okay. Let's just talk about the benefits of turmeric. It helps with engorgement pain. It helps if you get mastitis. So, let's just drink some golden milk, and I can put a recipe in the show notes, but oh, you guys, I'm just thinking about it and now I'm drooling. But you will take whatever type of milk that you want that has fat in it. So raw milk, you can kill two birds with one stone, get your raw milk in here, or coconut milk. You just want to have fat with your turmeric because it helps you absorb it. And then you always want black pepper as well. Not like a black pepper extract, just like sprinkle a little black pepper in there. But golden milk, oh, it's anti-inflammatory. It is spicy and warm. It's good for your digestion. It's going to be good for your milk supply, all these things. Teas, warm teas are going to be really good. You don't want to be drinking a bunch of cold stuff, so really cold smoothies, though they make your life easier. If they're making your life completely easier and you're getting that in versus not eating, drink the smoothies. But we want to stick with more warmer if we can. And teas are really, really good. Herbal teas. Sorry, I keep saying it's like my brain is frozen tonight. Herbal teas are really, really good. Ashwagandha is something else that can be really, really helpful if when you're nursing with stress, bringing down that stress. And if you're stressed, then your milk supply won't be as great. So all around, it's good. Another thing that I love is organ meats. Okay, I talk about organ meats all the time. You're probably so sick of me saying, go eat your liver. But you guys, it's so full of so many things that are good for you. So just take a little bit and mix it in with some things. But like chili or soup. So something that would be really helpful because bone broth is really, really good is making your bone broth ahead of time. So make it in your third trimester and then pour it into those little muffin tins and freeze it. And then you just have it in like a little like shape and you can just warm it up in the oven. I mean, not the oven. Oh my gosh. On the stove in a pot. But something else you could do is the bone broth, you could even stick a little bit of liver in, or you could make chili and you could freeze it in those sections and you could have the liver already put in there or anything like that. You can even take the organ meat, like your liver, and puree it and then freeze it in ice cube trays. And then every time you make pasta or chili, you can just take one out, pop it in there. It'd be super simple, easy way of getting that in. Fish soups. Those are good as well. Iron-rich foods, which are organ meats. Dates are rich in iron as well, and so are figs. Oh my gosh, my favorite snack ever, 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 ever is dates. And I slice them, and I put a little bit of Kerrygold butter in, and then I sprinkle them with Celtic sea salt. Oh, it is so good. It's so good. It's so good. And then I'll typically put a hard-boiled egg with it. And sometimes if you're getting extra fancy, you can take the dates and stick them in the oven and warm them up for a second. But that's what I love. And so any other foods that are stimulating for your digestion, so maybe ginger would be really good. Stay away from anything pepperminty or anything like that. You don't want to be taking any like root powders. You don't want to be doing anything like extremely you don't want to do any like detoxing or anything like that. Like this time, especially, okay, let's just talk about the first few days postpartum. It's just you and your baby and your family. And I don't want you to be like, how do I get my hormones rebalanced? Like, I need to jump right back in this. No. You prepped this food during your third trimester, and now you're just going to enjoy your baby and you're going to sleep every single spare second. Yes, Leah is telling you to sleep, okay? And then you just eat your meals that you prepped and you slowly come back into it. It's not like the day you come home from the hospital, you need to start doing things, you guys. Slow down. Slow down. Okay. Which brings me to a couple other things I kind of want to talk to. One is prepping. So prepping in your third trimester is so important. You can prep, like I said, freeze your liver, and for chilies and stuff, you can make chilies. You can make chili and freeze it. You can make a bunch of like soups and freeze them. You can make all sorts of meals that are warm and yummy and freeze them. Like you make foods that are going to make you feel good and freeze them. Okay? Because you don't want to be coming home from the hospital and a week later be like, oh, I have to make dinner. You don't have the energy to do that. You don't have the time to do that. Okay, you should be resting and sleeping, not making dinner. Okay, so have foods prepped like this. Have the bone broth frozen into those little tiny containers so you can just pop it in the pot and let it melt, and then you can have a nice cup of warm bone broth. Maybe even put an extra scoop of collagen in there, a little sprinkle of sea salt. Oh, that's going to be wonderful for your adrenal health as well. So I would definitely do that. And then I would actually recommend really supporting your adrenals. So like I said, the bone broth with the sea salt and collagen would be really good. Jigsaw, the brand, actually has a adrenal cocktail powder, and you can even I'll link it below. You can get it from a dispensary, but it has sodium and potassium and vitamin C, which are all like amazing for your adrenals. Think about it as your adrenal cocktail, and you could just take a little bit of orange juice in the morning, like literally, I'm looking like less than a fourth of a cup, and mix in your scoop of that adrenal cocktail powder and just drink that. You can also do it in the afternoon. Just support your adrenals. Like I just was go, go, go after Landon, and looking back, I was like, oh, you should have slowed down more. But I had energy and I was doing stuff, but I think you still just need to give yourself that space and allow everything to heal. So that's what I would recommend for your adrenals, and then getting as much sleep as humanly possible, and make sure you're eating enough. Now is not the time to be like, I'm going to lose my baby weight by dieting already. Cut that out. That's not good for your hormones. That's not good for your baby. It's not good for your milk supply. Like, don't even go there. So prep your food. Don't diet. And then the other thing is, it goes along with the whole dieting thing. Don't just jump right back into doing these hardcore workouts. So for a lot of people, working out can be stress relieving. It can be, but I feel like a lot of times postpartum, we look at it as, I want to get my body back. And I totally get that. I feel like your body image goes through the ringer when you have a baby. But at the same time, if you're doing these high intense or crazy workouts, and you're not sleeping a lot at nighttime, you're getting up, your cortisol levels are already elevated. You're already really tired from all of this sleep, and you're going to put more stress on your body by doing these hardcore workouts to lose the baby weight. The baby weight is not going to budge an inch. It's going to sit down even harder, because when your body feels stressed and when your body thinks that it can't survive, it's just going to sit down and buckle down and tell you, heck no, we're not going anywhere. So you are going to get there faster and better if you just slow down. You eat nutritious food. You eat warm, dense food that's going to fuel your body, and just walk. Just take walks. Like, I never want you to prioritize working out over your sleep. If you're really tired and you have to drag yourself out of bed at 5 a.m. to do a workout, and you're so tired and you're drained the rest of the day, that's not good on your adrenals, not good on your hormone health, and it's not going to serve you, especially long term. So I totally understand wanting to lose the baby weight. Like, I completely get that. But you will get to your goals faster if you focus on your digestion and nutrient dense foods and just walk, you guys. Like, go out, take a walk with your little baby, push the baby in the stroller, go out and play in the park. But please don't be getting up at 5 and 4 a.m. to get workouts in and pushing yourself and then being tired all day. Okay? Not that I don't like working out. I highly recommend it. It's very good for insulin sensitivity and all of that. I just do not recommend sacrificing your sleep to work out. Okay, that's all I have. I hope that was helpful. If you have any tips that you love for postpartum and that make your life easier, I would love for you to shoot me a DM and tell me what they are, because I'm all for learning tips. And if you share a really, really good one, maybe I will share it with everybody else, because we could all benefit from some pretty awesome tips. All right, I'll see you ladies. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Balancing Hormones Naturally. If you found this helpful, I would love for you to share it with a friend and post it on your stories and tag Balancing Hormones Naturally podcast so we can get this message out. You can find me on Instagram at Leah_BRUEG, and I would absolutely love to hear from you.